All right, Nick, going live. Top nine. Got ourselves a baseball game. And we need likes. We need all the likes that we can get, folks. We need all of them. Need every single bit of them. Could use a couple runs here, though, for being honest.
Yeah. This is one of those games I think both teams probably feel like they left a lot on the bases.
Yeah. I mean, you need to have it. Need to have it. Come on, chat. We need them.
All right.
Dude, my cat is going crazy right now. It is so late. Poor Will, man. Will just looks. I hate this for him, but he just doesn't look like he's himself or what he was last year right now. The end of last year. Looks like he's pressing so hard.
How's your day, Trace?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I was really tired to begin this game, man. I was like just fighting the fight, and then all of a sudden, like I just I've gotten better as the game's gone on. So, how are you doing? Your sleep schedule working out all right?
It's okay. Yeah, just fed the baby, so
Nice.
felt somewhat helpful. Got her back to bed. Yeah, so we're doing good.
That's great. Not a lot better than feeding a newborn.
Yeah. Yeah, thankfully she eats good because it's not always the case.
Mm-hmm.
Makes a world of difference, though. All right.
How do you find guys that just throw 102-mile-an-hour sinkers? Where do these guys come from?
I don't know.
Can we
I
get a
never heard
couple
of
of
this
them?
guy. Wrote a little preview of the Diamondbacks bullpen. I didn't even know about this guy.
I mean, this dude's just throwing
He's a footnote.
piss missiles in there. 101, 102, 101, 100. I was hoping we get a couple runs, and here we are. Boy, Alexis. Oh, look at Johnny.
He's hitting it.
All right, Johnny.
Well, the leadoff spot is yours, brother. If you want to run with it.
That's right. Hurtabees is coming up when? He's in like in a 6 hole or something. He's got a ways to go.
He pinched it for Ford. 4 was 6. Yeah, I would love to see Hurtabee. Well, obviously, it'd be great if Hurtabee's got a bat in this inning.
That India stolen base attempt, I don't get it. I don't know. Sometimes you just got to scratch your head.
That's the worst one of the year so far.
No part of that made sense.
Yeah.
This is power on power by Ellie. I love to see Ellie just one time run into one of these 101-mile-an-hour sinker fastballs or whatever and put his best swing on it and just see how far it goes. Like 500 feet.
I saw it in Cleveland last year.
How hard was that guy throwing, though?
I think he was throwing pretty far. That was Xavier Curry. I think he throws the ball pretty hard. I don't remember the pitch. I'm assuming it was a fastball, considering how far it went.
Ellie. Fell high. This guy's like Fernando Cruz on steroids. Unhittable is what that is. I like my guy in the Reds uniform right above the old D-back sign over here on the left. He's moved down like 8 or 9 rows throughout the course of the game. Got himself in the second row now.
Let's go. Looks like he's having a great time.
Yeah. I'm sure that when they took the lead, there were some people that left, and he just decided he's going to go a couple rows closer. Dude, throw the ball to the plate, brother.
This box score recap's a novel.
Now, I'm not here to say that I would suggest India to steal, but if you're going to steal, this is the time to try to steal a bag. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean, not a 3-0 count. Ellie De La Cruz at the plate. In the tie game.
All right. 2-2. Let's try to steal a base here. Why not?
Here we go. This is what I'd love to see, one of those little patented steer little liners to right field with India on the move.
Kicks around in the corner.
Oh, I'm not keeping up here. Yeah, so they put the base runner on. Old human vacuum, Kevin Newman.
What a day he's had, by the way. I can't even escape it.
Get the glasses out.
Oh, they're here. I got him. I'm looking at him. Inventory is back at record levels, they say. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go get me a pick-me-up here.
How we doing, chat? I don't have you up. Sorry. Hope we're doing well. All right, let's pull up the chat here. What are we doing? How we doing? Kirby, go get Betty so she can see our Reds win. I am not disrupting Betty right now. She is sleeping well. She just had a nice 2 milliliters of milk. She's good. Well, let's get 1-0. Let's get 1-0 in the Hertabees era. Right? Michael Ackley. I'm having some caffeine, brother. I still got to edit this after this is over. We got a long box score recap to run through. My, oh my. I even tried to condense it. All right. Where are we at? We're at the bottom of the order, right? Gurriel Jr. All right. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. That did not look... That looked rough. Oh. I hope he's okay, but I also hope that this doesn't impact Diaz here. Oh, man. Oh, right in the chest. Oh. Oh, man. Oh. Poor guy. Tell you what, though, those long sleeves, those look good. Those look good under that black jersey. I do like those a lot. Gurriel wears it well. Is Trace coming back? We got odds on this? Man. Yeah, he's going to wake up tomorrow. He got a grapefruit on his chest. Please throw strikes. Please throw strikes. Oh, man. Please. There we go. There we go. Lexus. Thanks, Gino. Trace run to Starbucks? First, like, 10th of a second of that camera angle duped me. That heart sunk. Oh, boy. Did you have a TV on upstairs? I can't hear you.
I said I also want to admit I got a late night problem.
Oh, boy.
It's okay. We're going to power through it today. I'm going to buy this thing that Nick's been yelling at me to buy for like 10 years.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I got some camera problems. We'll see how long it lasts. Hopefully Diaz can get through this. Throw some strikes. That'd be kind of cool. It's all right. It's okay. It's ever. Really quickly, though, shout out to Heine Brothers. No free ads. But they sent me some coffee. Maybe we can make a deal with them.
All right.
I believe they're the official coffee of the Louisville Bats. So there's that.
Oh, okay.
I can't see anything, Nick.
Did you see Gurriel get absolutely...
Yeah, just rocked.
Oh, man.
We get a ground ball double play. Get out of here.
Yeah, Diamondbacks got like 4,000 of them in the 4 games against the Reds, so it'd be nice.
Let's do it. Tough feeling. Like I got a battery problem too. One of these batteries is acting like it's fully charged and it just doesn't work.
Diaz.
Why do this at 1 a.m, man? It's like freaking just clockwork. All right, Nick, we need it. We need it, buddy. Cowboy, we don't need to talk about this. You guys want to see a death? I think I'm going to have to stand up. Gotta admit, this is one of the best looks I've had.
Likes for strikes.
Boy, we need every like we can get. Humanly known. We need every burner to come out.
Every 100 likes is 1 strike. Oh.
You're like 2 seconds ahead of me. Which is fine. We can fix it. We can fix it tomorrow.
I got a pitch clock. I got a pitch clock.
I got a 3-1, 16, 15, 14, 13.
All right, we're good.
And then the pitch clock just randomly went away.
Yeah, but
I think you were only like 2 seconds ahead of me. It wasn't a lot. It was just enough. That's hilarious. I gotta admit, that's funny. 19 pitches.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Chat, what are we supposed to do here? I don't know what we're supposed to do here. We need somebody's got to go talk to this man. Somebody's got to go talk to this man. Where's Derek Johnson at? No, fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck no. I'm sorry, chat. And I'm trying. It's a kid's show, but no. Fuck no. Please, God.
Strike.
If this bastard gets a hit, I don't want to say I'm going to quit, but boy, God, never been closer. This literally can't get worse. This can't get worse. It fucking can't get worse. When you think of the depths of hell, we are there. We are on the basement floor. He hit a cap shot. Dude hit a cap shot. Dude rolled over a ground ball earlier in the game. I'll give him credit on one of the at-bats. It was actually a pretty well-struck ball, but I want to cry. I mean, I just, we got to do a show. I mean, that's just what we do. We're going to do a show. So here we go. Let me find, I'm all over the place. I don't know where to start. going to be random tonight. I don't have time to figure out where it's going either. So, sorry.
Yeah, so thank you. Thank you.
I think I can speak for all of Reds country. Joey Votto, thank you.
High drive, left center field, racing back to the wall, Bourgeois. The Reds are National League Central Division champions. In the air, left center field. Did he? He did! He did! Reds win! Line to the right field. Genius, the first Red ever with 4 home runs in a game. Can you believe it? In the air, down the right field line. Doesn't have a chance. The Reds have won on a 3-run home run on opening day by Ramon Hernandez. A strike away and out away is Homer Bailey. Ground ball to third. Frazier gloves. Throw to first, and Homer Bailey, for the second time in his major league career, has tossed a no-hitter. Oh, gosh. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Holy Moses, the second player in major league history to hit 7 home runs in the first 10 games. In the air, and the Reds win. What a dream beginning to the career of Jay Bruce.
All right, Nick. We just experienced really one of the lowest points of the show. I'm sure we're going to do our best to do a show tonight, and my camera will at some point crap out, and that's fine. I hope the screenshot, the freeze frame lives forever, but I just want to say on the front end that if you're going through tough times in life, you can go to mantherapy.org. Tonight might be the night where we just do it live together at the end of the show. We're going to all get on mantherapy.org and take the quiz ourselves. Maybe you can text 988, call 988. But it's 1:03 in the morning, Nick. We just watched Kevin Newman walk off the Reds. Got 3 hits tonight. This is low, Nick. I don't know if I personally don't think we've ever been lower, but we'll do our best to be professionals tonight and do a show.
Yeah, this sucks. Not a lot of fun right now.
No, but there was some things we can talk about. This team had chances. They had chances, and I know this box score recap's going to be like freaking basically a Harry Potter book. So I'm going to do my best to buy you some time here to try to recap that 9th inning. But I think you should just say what you should just say at the end of it all. You should just say Alexis Diaz threw 4 strikes and 22 pitches, and Kevin Newman capped a baseball over the first baseman's head to win the baseball game. But you do how you wish.
He
All right,
9
Nick.
out of 21.
Wow. Yeah, it's a little better than I thought. All right, folks. Let's do a show. I mean, I got a lot. I'm processing a lot, and I'm going to do my best not to overreact. Box score recap, Nick. Do you have one?
Yeah.
All right,
yeah, we're
let's
ready to
do it.
roll. All right, a lot happened in this one. We'll start off in the bottom of the first. Graham Ashcraft had worked around a couple batters in the bottom of the first, but he gave up a solo home run to Gabriel Moreno in the bottom of the second. Moreno's first home run of the year, 1-0 Diamondbacks. Top of the third, Santiago Espinal led off with a single. Later in the inning, Ellie De La Cruz worked a 2-out walk, laying off several curveballs. That got Spencer Steer to the plate, and he had a beautiful piece of hitting, driving a sinker the other way to right field, 2 RBI double, 2-1 Reds. That lead did not last long. Ashcraft gave up a leadoff home run to Jock Peterson. He hit the ball 6 miles to center field. Then Ashcraft later gave up another run after loading the bases and giving up a sac fly, making it 3-2 Diamondbacks. Ashcraft would just go 4 innings, had to throw 94 pitches, 7 hits, the 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Emilio Pagani threw a perfect 5th, striking out the side. And then the top of the 6th, Tyler Stevenson doubled with 1 out. Jamer Candelario singled. Tyler Stevenson had to hold up on 3rd. And then Mike Ford snuck a single, just hit 63 miles per hour off the bat. Between the third baseman and the shortstop, 3-3 game. Brent Suter threw a scoreless 6th. Then the top of the 7th, Jonathan India walked, but then for some reason tried to steal on a 3-0 count with Elly De La Cruz at the plate and the best catcher in terms of throwing out base stealers in the game. India was, of course, thrown out. Elly De La Cruz then smoked the ball to the outfield, but he made too big of a turn at first base and ended up getting in a rundown for the final out. Bottom of the 7th, Fernando Cruz, he struck out arguably the 2 best Diamondbacks hitters, and Ketel Marte and Jock Peterson. But then he walked 2 straight batters, and then with 2 outs, Eugenio Suarez singled home a run to make it 4-3. But in the top of the 8th, Spencer Steer to lead off walk. Jamer Candelario ripped the ball at Corbin Carroll. They called it a catch on the field, but replay clearly showed it was trapped. Tied the game at 4. Then Mike Ford smoked the ball off the wall. Took a big bounce. Ford tripled 5-4 Reds. Bottom of the 8th, Justin Wilson came in, gave up a single to Kevin Newman, his 3rd hit of the game at the time. Corbin Carroll was hit by a pitch. Then Wilson rebounded, struck out Marte and Jock Peterson. Lucas Sims came in, got a weak ground out from Christian Walker to end the inning. Reds took a 5-4 lead in the 9th, turned it over to Alexis Diaz. Alexis Diaz's command was lacking. Hit the first batter, Gurriel, by a pitch. Did get Suarez to line out, but then he walked Gabriel Moreno. He walked Jake McCarthy, and then he gave up a single to Kevin Newman. Kevin Newman's 4th hit of the game. Reds fall 6-5. Reds have now lost, I think, 11 of 12. I'm not even sure at this point.
Well, if you're not sure, then that's probably a good thing. That's probably a good thing. We did have a deep drive of the day. Shout out to Mike Ford. He had hit a ball off the wall. 101 off the bat, 390 feet if you care. Launch angle of 22 degrees. And what I would say to you, cheers to Mike Ford. Glad he's not fishing, but it ultimately didn't matter. DSC, shout out to DSC. Thanks, John, his team. They're the best because they're a leader in renewable commodities, specializing in biofuel production, aggregation, and sales. Visit www.deepsouthcommodities for more information. At this point, my camera's going to die. I don't know what kind of screenshot I'm going to get. There it is. That'll be a good one. That'll be a good one. So that's what you get to look at for the rest of the night with me. All right, let's do a decent show here. I think I think that there's going to be certainly a significant amount of population of the Reds fan base, and when I say a significant, I mean the ones that are watching, that are diehards, that are tuning in at 1:10 at night to watch a Reds post-game show when they're absolutely abysmal, is at some point, you know, the leadership needs to come through. I don't know who the hell the leader is, but there needs to be some semblance of, like, we expect to win. Right now we're hoping to win. We're hoping to make plays, and that's how I feel when I watch this game. It's like wishful thinking everywhere. I do give some credit to Jamer Candelario. I actually think that he's playing well right now. But I just think that we're and I just don't know if we're good. I'll be honest. I keep thinking that. I don't know if we are. So maybe I should just stop ranting every single night and just say this is who we are. But the base running mistakes each night, that's what pisses me off the most. I don't know where you want to go with this, Nick, but I think, you know, you find yourself in a position where the Diamondbacks, they steal second base right on Fernando Cruz. Now, ultimately, they didn't score, but it was a winning play. They made a winning play there. And then we decided to try to steal on 3-0. And I'm not trying to hang Indy out to dry. He's not the only reason that they, you know, unfortunately didn't win this baseball game. But it's just a good microcosm. It's a good microcosm of what exactly has been going on, which is not only is it bad decision making, but it's also just bad execution. One thing to make a bad decision, it's a whole other thing not to be able to get yourself through it by executing. Kind of reminds me of when you take a bad shot in basketball. You could take a bad shot in basketball, but if you at least make a couple of them every so often, it doesn't feel as bad. Right now, the Reds aren't making a damn thing. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I hate to be that guy to say that this Reds baseball team isn't that great, but they're just not. There's, Espinal's has a 3-1 pitch or a 2-1 pitch, and he just slaps a little weak ground ball to second base, and it's just like, what's the plan there? But I'm getting into the weeds here early. But I don't know. I'd be interested to see like your overall thoughts on the game as a whole, and kind of like we'll bounce around from there.
It's just, I don't know. It's always been something. There's just always something that goes wrong. And just like last year when you win 12 in a row, there's always something that goes right. When you lose this many in a row, or this many in a 12-game stretch, there's something that always goes wrong. There was a lot of big clutch hits in this game. Reds still left a few base runners in the game. So did the Diamondbacks. Though Diamondbacks, I'm sure early in the game, thought they should have got a lot more off Ashcraft. They should have got a lot more off Ashcraft. But, the part of the issue, and it's hard to crush like a guy like Graham Ashcraft because he's been solid all year, but he only goes 4 innings in this game. And, if he had gone a little bit deeper, you might have had someone that could have bailed out Diaz. We could have, when you saw him come in, hit the first batter, then walk another batter, you could have been like, hey, maybe we should get someone up. But who's left? I don't even know who's left. I mean, they pretty much went through the entire bullpen. They had a extra inning game Sunday in San Francisco. So, Ashcraft going short also kind of left you to live with whatever Diaz gave you. And it's just, it's tough. I can't even spell unbelievable on this
That's
thing.
okay. Who gives a damn?
But, I don't know. I mean, it's frustrating because there were so many good moments in this game. It sucks. You go from about ready to have a really fun show. Everyone's going to be excited. Hey, that was a really nice win for the Reds. They needed that, to just an absolutely demoralizing loss.
Yeah, I maybe I'm maybe I'm not. This isn't the right way to go about this, but I really would just like someone to come out and say this is bullshit. That'd be kind of cool. Now, whether or not they will or not, I don't know. Whether or not they're saying that behind closed doors, I don't know. Maybe it's just to make me feel better. Maybe it's just to make me feel better. Maybe it doesn't matter at all. But I just like someone to come in a post-game press conference and just say this is absolute bullshit. The way we're playing right now is not even remotely close to what a Major League Baseball team should look like. And, we're just probably going to mumble our ass through the press conference and sit here and suggest, we're trying really hard. We're going to do our best. We're going to come out there tomorrow and we're going to give it our best shot. And you know what? If that's the way you want to go about it, go ahead. I mean, just keep on doing the same old shit and see if it works out. Because it seems like the last 2 weeks, we just sit here and act like everything's all sunshine and roses and rainbows and we're going to be perfectly fine. And here we go. We'll trot back out on the field tomorrow and we'll go get them, killer. Do your best, guys. Just do your best. At some point, I'd like for there to be somebody getting their ass chewed when they decide that they're just going to run on a 3-0 count with Elly De La Cruz at the plate trying to steal second base when you're slow as shit already. It'd be one thing if he was like Deion Sanders, but he's not. So what's his plan? It's a 3-0 count. What do you think he's going to throw? A breaking ball in the dirt? Is he going to try to fool him? No, he's throwing a fastball right down the middle to the best catcher in the game to throw your ass out, and that's what he did. And then what happens on the very next pitch? You hit a ball in the gap. You have first and third, 1 out. Elly steals second. You got second and third, 1 out, and you wonder why in the hell you can't win any games, because those runs matter. Those runs matter. But we don't get a chance to have those runs because we're just out here running the bases like little leaguers, and that's disrespectful to little leaguers. Now, again, we do the same song and dance each and every night, every single day. You think to yourself, if you listen to this podcast, you're like, well, I've heard this episode before. Yeah, you have. You've heard it for the last week and a half. And you know what? I don't have anything left for him. Because at some point, someone has to come out and just say, we've got to be better. And if it's not the manager, then let it be a player. I don't give a damn who has to do it, but at least just make us feel better about it. Maybe just lie to our face and say you give a damn when you don't. Now, I do think they care. I tell you I seen that Fernando Cruz was so invested into that base hit. Now, some might say, well, it's because it's because of his statistics, etc. I don't think so. I think there's a vast majority of these guys that genuinely want to get out of this stretch. Of course they do. But, I just think back at the greatest players of all time. And maybe I'm wrong for thinking this, but I don't know. And someone's going to laugh at this analogy, and maybe it's so, maybe it's a little bit of in jest, and maybe I'm trying to prove a point, and it's a little bit funny. But, I'm just trying to think to myself, if Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, I don't know, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, you name the players that are the greatest players of all time, I'm sure they'd walk into the press conference today after 2 weeks of getting their tails kicked and think, everything's perfectly fine. But meanwhile, the leader that I was told that I had, he's out here trying to steal bases on 3-0 pitches right down the middle. And you know what? He's played a little bit better of late, so I'm not trying to kill him. But by God, I just, throw me a bone every once in a while. Let the guys that are, perhaps want to see bats thrown around the dugout from time to time. If we can't win in 2 weeks, maybe we should try something different. But, that's just me. I could be wrong, to be fair. And I know, Nick, you don't really believe in all that, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not saying you need to, but we're at a point now where what gives is what I'm asking. And maybe it's just you just keep playing, and it'll all work itself out. And at some point, these balls will start dropping. But is it luck, or is it just the way they play? That's my question. I don't know.
Again, if Alexis Diaz does his job tonight, there's none of these conversations. So that's where I kind of I get what you're saying. Sure, it might make everyone feel better to, throw a temper tantrum in the dugout, to, go scream in the press conference, but it's still a game of inches. I don't know. It's just not a lot of.
Well, it'd be nice if he had a couple run cushion too. Yeah, that'd be cool. But we give away opportunities. We can't get. Ultimately, we can't find a way to push across. We did score 5 runs. I'll give him credit for that. But heaven forbid we get to 7 or 8. But yeah, I hear you. I understand what you're getting at. But I mean, that's another thing. Diaz is. I mean, how many? He threw 4 strikes, whatever it was, 5 strikes.
9 strikes out of 21 pitches. Yeah, I mean. We had concerns with Diaz coming into the year. He kind of always keeps doing enough to make you feel okay. And I don't know. Is this the worst? Is this the worst blown save?
No, it can't be. It can't be the worst one because it's only 1 run. But I understand what you're saying, though. No, yeah, I think the worst one he's ever had that I've watched is when he came in and he shit the bed against Pittsburgh. Personally, last year. That was last year. We know what day that was. But I'll be honest, I don't know if that day was worse than this day. It's neck and neck at this point. Now I would like to think it's last year because we had more to lose, but here we are. I don't know. Where do you want to start? I mean, I think that we can obviously get into some stuff. Candelario, Steer, and India, you have them on the rundown. They had some big moments in this game. India unfortunately ruined it off because he decided he was going to try to steal a bag from me. But Candelario does look a lot better, a lot more comfortable, and he looks like the guy we thought we were going to get when we first got him through free agency.
Yeah, Candelario was great. I mean, he had 3 hard hit balls tonight. One of them was 107 off the bat. So he's definitely swinging the bat a lot better. And, whether this season ever becomes anything or not, it's definitely trending towards a direction where the season's not going anywhere. They're not completely dead, but, I mean, it's going to take a pretty miraculous effort to turn this around. But you still have Candelario for 3 years. So what Candelario does, it matters. So it's good to see him playing well. It's a huge hit. from Spencer Steer early in this game. After the Reds had fallen behind 1-0 early in the game, it was a 2-out hit. Jonathan India 3 times on base today. It feels like there's been so many of these guys, Trace, that it's like, man, they really did this good thing.
Yeah.
But there's always a but right after it, right? And that's just kind of been the name of the game this season. I don't know.
It feels like if the Reds could get the opposite situations that have been happening of late, and they made the winning play versus the losing play, or the whatever you want to call it, the some of it has been misfortune. But I'm tired of saying it's all misfortune. But my point is that this is the situation where if it were to be in reverse, they win like 88 or 89 games this year, and instead they win 71 because of it just went the complete opposite way. I mean, at this point, it is what it is. They've dug themselves such a big hole that it's going to take damn near a miracle, and I think that's the only word that comes to my mind to try to get us back into a situation where we feel like playoffs are a real possibility. And I know someone's going to tell me we're only 5 games out of the wild card or 4 games out of the wild card, but it's more or less just the way this team looks. And maybe they just need a win. That's the other thing too. I will admit or will say is it feels like this team just needs to see one go through the net, and they need to find a way to just to see one win. And they got one the other day. I get that, but they really need to win a tough 1-run baseball game that finally goes their way. They kind of need to get the monkey off their back, and it just seems like they can't get it off.
You saying they need to win a baseball game where they trailed 1-0, then trailed 3-2, then
Right.
trailed 4-3 and fought all the way back?
Yeah.
A game like that? Is that what you're trying to
That's
hit
what
at?
I'm trying to hit at. Yeah, it seemed like tonight was a night that could have got them back on track, and they just can't find a way to win these games. More of the same.
Yeah.
And it's it's just so frustrating because I just you're right. That's the one thing that you're right about is that every single one of these guys outside of maybe Will Benson, and I'm not trying to single him out, but I'm trying to think of all of these guys tonight did something positive. They did do something positive. It's just unfortunate that they just didn't do quite enough. And maybe you could put a Diaz in there as well. But
Benson even had a walk. I think everyone got on base Everyone got on base that started in this game. Every single player got on base that started this game. The only guy that didn't get on base was Jake Fraley. You know what? Probably doesn't deserve a pass either if we're going through. He had an at-bat with runner on third, 1 out, struck out on 3 pitches. I think 2 of them were out of the zone. Kind of flew under the radar because the Reds had already taken the lead, right? I think it wasn't in that 8th inning. I don't know. There's so much that happened in this game. It's hard to go back. I'm gonna try to pull it up now.
Who are you speaking on?
So yeah, it was Jake. So right after Mike Ford tripled,
yes,
Fraley came to the plate, and he struck out on 3 pitches. One of them was completely out. 2 of them were out of the zone. One of them was bounced. It was blocked. He struck out on 3. Yeah, I mean that was a huge
a big
run.
at bat. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, so you could talk about the base running, but I mean that was just one of the worst at bats of the season. I mean, and Fraley's been good for overall. He hasn't been bad, but that was a brutal spot.
I think pressure's getting to these guys. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
I think pressure's getting to these guys. Listen, honest fan, I know you're the leader of the club of the Will Benson fan club, brother. But he says Trace is always hating on Benson. Well, I mean, shit. You go for 4 every night. And you're swinging balls that are 3 feet outside. It's hard not to bring it up. Be a little bit of a hater. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm just saying. At some point, these guys got to look competent up there, or else they don't really belong in the big leagues. And that's the only other thing I would say about this team right now is I do think that this fan base gives certain players like the benefit of the doubt that they give certain players the benefit of the doubt when they've not really proven at the big league level over a decent stretch of baseball or decent amount of time. And there's really not that many guys on this club. Candelario, of all people, honestly, is probably the one that you would say that has probably the most pedigree when it comes to the back of a baseball card, and half this town wanted to ship him out. So it's like, I don't know. It's just an interesting dynamic that we have right now to where it's like, we did Will Benson was fantastic last year, towards the end of last year, and that's probably one of the reasons why the Reds overachieved. And I think that's the right term to use. I think last year this Reds team did overachieve, and we're starting to reap the sour grapes part of this whole situation, which is when they regress. Not only are they regressing to the mean of the average, but they're regressing even below what they should be doing, and then it's a devastating drop. Now it feels like just a crazy drop. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to kill anybody, to be honest with you. And I mean, the fact that I just watched Kevin Newman have to break my heart is just, I'm gonna have to do some. Just I don't know. There's gonna be a coming to Jesus moment here before I go to bed tonight on what I did, what I've done in my life to make me deserve this.
Yeah, I don't want to say Kevin Newman heard about the cement feet jokes that were constantly
Shit, he
thrown
still
around,
got 'em.
but it sure felt personal tonight. It
Yeah.
sure felt personal, Trace.
I'll tell you what, he reminded me of Jonathan India on that ball up the middle where he took like 2 steps and then dove for it and spun around and flipped it to the second baseman like he made a great play. And it was like, well, Ellie De La Cruz would have probably caught that behind his back, but I don't know. I mean, give Kevin Newman some credit. I'm as much as I joke about him, good for him. I mean, he made plays when it mattered, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, he started out in the minor leagues this year. Started out Triple-A with the Diamondbacks.
Yep.
Got an opportunity. Their shortstop got hurt, and he's making the most of it. So,
Yep.
I'm sure it felt good for him tonight. I'll tell you that.
No, he's feeling great. He's feeling great, and it's good for him. It's his crowning baseball achievement. He'll be telling his grandkids about May 14th, deep into the morning. He found a way to beat the Cincinnati Reds. Let's get into Ashcraft. I'll tell you this. Tonight, the Reds, they dodged a lot of bullets, and I also think that the Reds pitching staff as a whole wasn't very good. They didn't perform horrifically, but I didn't think Ashcraft was very good. I didn't think that, I guess Cruz wasn't really all that great either. He kind of got out of a jam, but that's here nor there. But your overall thoughts on Ashcraft?
Yeah, he was not very good tonight. I have no idea how he only gave up 3 earned runs. I mean, he gave up a ton of hard hit balls, 2 home runs, 2 home runs and 7 hits, 3 walks, and he only somehow get out with 3 earned runs. So, I mean, I guess credit them for that. It feels like Ashcraft has a lot of times this year really danced around trouble. I mean, he has a 4.12 ERA, so he's not been terrible, but I don't think that a lot of what Ashcraft keeps doing is sustainable. I think you put 10 runners on base, you're gonna get bit, and he's really gonna get bit some, late in the summer when the weather gets warmer. It's just funny, Trace. I mean, the best 2 pitchers for the Reds tonight were Emilio Pagan. He struck out the side,
Right.
and Lucas Sims got a huge out in this game. Christian Walker, really good hitter, hit the ball out of the ballpark, got a super weak ground ball right back to him. It's just like, man, can any of this sync up, right?
Yeah, well, to be fair to Pagan, he did get everybody out that he faced last night. And by last night, I mean the other, day game. But they obviously took him out. So and then Lucas Sims was what? He got 1 pitch and he kind of got a little bit of an excuse me swing, a little check swing that got him out of the inning. So that was nice to see. That felt like a break. I tell you what, it felt like the Diamondbacks didn't play their best game either. To be fair to them, and it's almost like their fan base, if they would have lost this game, they would have been doing the same thing we're doing right now, which is they just let every opportunity in the world go by, and they couldn't capitalize on anything, and they hit some balls hard, and it just didn't go their way. But the good news for their fan base is they've not been doing this for a week and a half or 2 weeks or whatever the hell it's been for us. We've been doing this for a while, so it'd have been nice to get a bone thrown our way, but it's just not the case right now. Ashcraft, I'm not worried about him, but he did look, probably the worst I've seen him all season. But his stat line was good, so what's it matter? I guess I guess that's part of it. Just
yeah, I mean, this felt like one of these games that if you would have won this game 5-4, probably one of the ones you didn't really deserve to win.
Correct.
But it feels like the Reds deserve to win one of these games that they don't deserve to win, right?
Yep.
It's just, I don't know.
It 100% feels that way, Nick. I mean, at some point, you just got to run into a win on accident, Broken clocks right twice a day, as they say. You'd like to think that, even if we're broken clock, we're going to be right at some point here. It feels like we're at a point in the season where I don't know. Something has to give, I guess, and I don't really know what that would be, and I don't think it's going to be firing David Bell. I know that's what everybody in the chat wants, but I don't think that does a whole lot, man. I don't. Now I will say that I guess the things that I'm asking for theoretically should come from the manager. But I also was told that we have a good clubhouse culture. I was told that we have a good, a relatively pretty good leadership group of players. And my question is at some point that leadership group needs to show up and demand better baseball. It doesn't mean that they're going to win, but by golly, I'd like to think at some point we could just at least make the right play. Make the heads-up baseball play. And it just seems like time and time again, this base running is just becoming like almost a bit. Like you just can't believe it's this bad. And yet we do it every single night. And there's no repercussions. And we'll just do it again tomorrow. Open for business.
I got a question for you. I was kind of thinking this at the time. I was feeding the baby when it happened, so I wasn't completely dialed in. But Ellie De La Cruz, the one where he made that big turn, it almost felt like he was in his own head on that. Did you get that feeling?
No, I think he would have been out.
Himself?
I think that Ellie gets in his mind that he's got to be superhero. And damn near he might need to be. I'm not trying to make an excuse for Ellie, but he's always thinking in his mind that he's got to be aggressive and he's got to make the home run play. He to give him credit, he busted out of the box. He made a good turn, and by the good turn, he probably took 2 or 3 extra steps. And I would also say you got to give the other club some credit. They made a good throw to second base. The second baseman was aware. Marte made a strong throw to first. He was out. He would have been out even if he went back to the bag. And, but it's just like my thing with Ellie. At some point, I'd like for him to be wise enough to know he can try to steal second base too. Like he doesn't need to always try to make it all up in one play. And you know what? Like that wasn't I've already said it. That wasn't the most frustrating part of that whole thing because I think that there's a domino effect of all these things that have happened. And if you don't have, put it this way, if you don't have a guy trying to steal second base on 3-0, we probably aren't even getting in that situation. My guess is that they're going to try to make a play to third base on a first and third, and or Ellie would have been wise enough to say, you know what, I'm just going to steal second base on this next pitch. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm giving too many excuses for Ellie. He made a bad play, but it to me, you just can't try to steal second base with a 3-0 count. I don't want to say ever, but it just I don't get it.
With Ellie De La Cruz at the plate against a right-handed pitcher too. That one's got to be up there as the toughest ones of the season because that wasn't. I don't know. That wasn't just trying to make a play. I don't know. And,
what was he thinking? What was the point?
Maybe India thought that he had stole the base off the pitcher. Maybe he thought, I'm going to get such a good jump. I've got this 100%. It wasn't one of those I'm trying to make a play. I'm guessing in his head he felt almost 100% confident. I've timed this up or whatever. Gets in those type of play. I'm going to for sure be able to steal this base here. That's my thought. But obviously it didn't work. So
I don't know. Maybe, and again, I don't want to keep beating a dead horse, but I would love to ask India what the logic was there because maybe he has logic that I don't understand because it's one thing to try to steal on a breaking ball or an off-speed pitch. It's 3-0. What do you think they're going to throw? And secondarily to that, my guess is that if you steal second base, they're going to walk Ellie on purpose. So, I guess maybe you could say he's got Steer behind him, and that's all well and good. But it just, again, I don't know. We can sit here and moan and groan about the one play that India made, but there was other plays that could have been had. Like you said, Jake Fraley's got to find a way to get a guy in from third base. It's just team stinks right now. It's frustrating. I really don't know what else to say.
Yeah. We'll talk about the Game Time app. Red's coming home next week.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you right now, if you're looking to go watch some balls get hit around, the good news is the PGA Championships this week in Louisville, if you'd like to go. If you're looking to go to Great American Ballpark and seeing balls get hit around a lot, good chance you're not, because we do have good starting pitching. I want to give them a shout out, although we're frustrated. I mean, this pitching staff does keep them in baseball games more times than not. But nonetheless, if you're going to go to a sporting event, download the Game Time app, use the code CINCY, CINCY. You get $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply, of course. And download the Game Time app. Make us feel a little bit better about ourselves if you maybe go to a game or some semblance of entertainment. But boy, I've never been more down. Never been more down, which is always a good reminder to you can call 988. 988. Text 988. Hurtabees, you got called up. We were calling for it. You were calling for it specifically. I was on that bandwagon as well. You got a chance to pitch run for Mike Ford in the late in the game. Didn't get a chance to hit, of course. But good for him, by the way. What a good story he is. He came from, like I said, he had to grind his whole way up here. He wasn't on the Austin Hendricks train where you get to strike out 27,000 times and still be in the organization. He finds a way to get on base, and hopefully he'll do that for the Cincinnati Reds, because it sounds like TJ Friedl isn't going to be back anytime soon. Why? Well, because the X-rays turned out that they weren't negative. Turns out they weren't inconclusive. Turns out the guy just has a broken thumb. So there is that.
Yeah, Friedl, I mean, it's just brutal. Just absolutely brutal. One of the players you were really counting on, one of the top 3 or 4 offensive overall players, position players overall. So brutal for him, but really cool for Jacob Hurtabees. Got the privilege of talking to him a couple months ago, and just really love his story. And I hope the Reds play him. I hope they give him a chance. What do you have to lose right now, right? I mean, this is a guy that makes contact. Had over a 500 on base percentage last year at Louisville. He could be a real spark plug, I think, for this team offensively. So I hope they give him a chance, especially against right-handed pitchers, which are going to see the next 2 days. I hope he's in the lineup. I don't know. I really happy that they made this move. It felt like Hurtabees deserved to be on this roster earlier in the year and just unfortunately got hurt. I'm glad they didn't, make him go back and kind of prove it again in Louisville. I think they did the right thing. They did the right thing by Jacob Hurtabees. I think they did the right thing for their team. So this one individual move, good all around. Love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's something, right? I don't know. I feel like we're in a situation where we're looking around right now, and I think that the answer is right in front of us, and we don't like the answer, so we continue to just poke around and see if we can't figure out maybe a different way to figure out the problem that we know probably isn't going to fix it. And that is that we need some players to come up that can really elevate this club right now, or we need to get lucky and we need to start, kind of like you said before, we need to execute on the same nights, and that's just not happened. So at this point, at least Hurtabees fresh blood, something to watch, a good story. Kind of as sad as this is to say, it's some semblance of maybe what we were hoping for last year when all these guys got called up. It's like, the Reds might not win a lot of games last year is what we would say. But at least we got something to look forward to. Like, there's some guys that we get a chance to watch. It makes things interesting. I guess if nothing else in this losing stretch of baseball that is the Reds, we got a new guy to check out, and his name's Hurtabees, and he's got a pretty good story behind him. So, I guess it's something that that we can have a little bit of a half glass full look at. But right now, my glass is it's not half full; it's empty because anything that's in front of me right now, I'm just going to drink it. There's that.
Yeah, if there was one thing right now, maybe organizationally with the Reds, if you want to look at an issue, is that the Reds don't have any additional depth right now at Double-A and Triple-A. They have a loaded roster at Dayton. I think they have some really good players down at Daytona. They got some good players in the complex league. So I think they're building up that depth. But this is kind of where they've hit that wall, and just like maybe over the next several years, one of the most unfortunate times to have a rash of injuries, because you just don't have, that prospect that keeps coming up. And that's why I think it's, very important for the Reds to continue to build like this ridiculous pipeline like the Rays have. When the Rays have injuries, you're like, oh, man, how are the Rays surviving all these injuries? Well, it's because they have player after player. Their Triple-A team's great. Their Double-A team's great. Their High A team's great. And, the Reds right now, their Double-A team is really, really bad. So the Reds need this group of players right now to be good and stay healthy, because they don't really have a lot for at least another year and a half. But I do think after that, it looks very promising that you're going to hopefully get into that situation where you have team after team, player after player that you continue to, cycle through and bring up. And hopefully the Reds are able to get to that point sooner rather than later and stay with it.
Yeah, and listen, I think that I want to get ahead of some stuff here. I don't think there's a whole lot that can fix this club. There's too many holes. You know what I'm saying? It's like the insurance appraiser. They come check out the car. They come check out the house, right? And they look at the goods. They look at the damaged goods. And sometimes what do? They say, well, I hate to break this to you, but this is a total loss. I hate to break this to you, but this unfortunately can't be repaired. You're just gonna have to start fresh, and you're gonna have to have a whole new outlook of this. That's how I feel about this team right now. I really don't think we can go out and get one or two guys that's gonna fix anything. Team's not well rounded enough to in my opinion to get us in a spot where that can help. So when we get down towards here, maybe midway through the season, if things don't go the way that obviously we're hoping, and you know what, there's still this outside chance of hope. I guess it feels like we're down 20 points with about 9 minutes left in a football game. It's bleak. It's pretty bleak. But you're not turning the TV off yet. You're close, but you're not there yet. That's how this feels right now. And my only thing is this. Let's not also act like this is, I've said this before, I'm going to say it one more time. Let's not act like this is exactly what we expected to have this year. If I'll tell you this, if we were playing this type of baseball and we had Matt McClain and we had Noelve Marte and we had TJ Friedl in there every single day and we had a healthy Fraley and a healthy Fairchild, which he's been healthy, but we have Spencer Steer, we have Jonathan India, we have CES. If that was the case, then I think at that point it's okay to sit here and say, you know what, this is really bad. But that's not what it is. And I'm not suggesting for a single second that we can't be pissed off, that we can't want better, because we've been told for far too long that, just be patient. The vast majority of us are done being patient. And I think that's more than fair. However, I also think it's more than fair to suggest that this isn't what we thought we were going to have. And I think that keeping that in the back of the mind is also very refreshing and will help. So when we get down towards the end of the year, let's not get over and beyond and ahead of ourselves when we start trading Fernando Cruz's of the world and things like that. Because point is that it is what it is. If they're not going to be able to turn it around relatively soon, it doesn't matter who we're getting at the trade deadline or who we're getting at the midway point of the year, whether that be McClain in August or whether it be Noelve after he serves his 80 games or TJ Friedl's back when he gets back. It's not going to matter. So hope I'm wrong. That's my final thoughts on the whole situation of, let's go get somebody. I just don't think that's going to fix anything.
Yeah, the Reds are not one player away from being a completely different roster right now. Um, I mean, look, the 2011 Reds are the perfect example. 2010, you win the division. Obviously, last year the Reds didn't win the division, but you felt like you were building something kind of similar to 2010. And then 2011 just was a year where literally everything went wrong. Um, Ended up finishing 79 and 83. They were bad in one-run games, and the next year they turned around and win 97 games. So each baseball season is its own entity. Obviously, you want this nice, smooth, upward trajectory, but it just rarely works like that. Especially when you're building a team, full of young players. So I don't think it's anywhere close to being panicked about the future. Being panicked about 2024, yeah, I mean it's probably time. I think the Reds playoff odds right now sit about 10%. Um, I will say last year they were 2.1% on this day. Reds projected win total right now 77 games. This time last year was 72. And I know there's not Ellie De La Cruz, Matt McClain, and Noelvi Marte coming up, but there also is a lot stronger rotation than there was last year. There is a real strength in this rotation 1 through 5. When they do get through this difficult stretch, you are going to have some weaker opponents. Doesn't guarantee wins. We know that, but it gives you a better opportunity to hopefully string some stuff together. So I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out. I don't have high hopes, but I'm not like completely, shutting it off at the same time.
Yeah, I listen, the chat's down bad. I don't blame them. I don't blame anybody right now that's feeling sorry for themselves, because we all felt like this was going to be different. And we are looking ourselves in the mirror as we speak right now, and we're coming to grips that that our crush doesn't really love us. And that's probably the most disappointing thing one can have at certain points in their life. This Reds team was supposed to be something that they're not, and unfortunately, that's where we're at. And I don't think I can say it any differently, and I don't think anybody can sit here and talk for too long without it being regurgitated. And I don't think anybody can suggest to me that there's something that's a quick fix. None of this is a quick fix. If it's going to, I will say this, Nick. It will require one thing, and it's a matter of when it's going to happen. They need to win a game like they did, like they had a chance to tonight. That's the most infuriating part of all this. They win a close game they had to come back from. They felt kind of gross about it. Now you got your mojo back. All of a sudden, you rattle one off tomorrow, and then you're starting to kind of actually feel like you're back in the season a little bit. And, I'll use my last analogy of the day because I think I'm already over my limit. But tonight kind of felt like we went on we were down 20 with 9 minutes left, like I had mentioned. We just went on like an 85-yard drive and we fumbled at the goal line. And now it's like we're looking around and just saying, is this serious? Is this serious? Like we played so well and we did so many things that should have given us a chance to win, yet here we are again, can't find a way to win.
Yeah, and tomorrow's a game where you test your character, because these guys, they have to come right back out tomorrow. Hopefully they're not as deflated as we are, because I know I'd have a hard time going back tomorrow. And this is kind of where I guess it goes to the whole, getting too high or getting too low during the baseball season, and the whole rah and all that kind of stuff. But you have to go back out tomorrow. You have to try to find a way to grind out a win tomorrow.
Yeah, they play pissed off at some point. I'm sure they are. But
it felt like they were a little bit tonight at times. It kind of did, and just, man, I wanted this one. I wanted it bad.
It is what it is. We got Reds MILB, Nick. Yeah, it's late. These teams at some point probably they don't play on Mondays, so there's that. But
there's one team that plays on Monday.
There is.
Team that plays on
Monday. Please do inform me.
We didn't run through super chats, did we?
I can do that really fast if you'd like me to.
Yeah. Before some of these people go to bed, I'm sure some already did.
Well, Houston Burger speaks for about 85% of the chat. He says that David Bell needs to go. Andrew Scobie, Scopes, been a long day. I think I even owe Scope some money here. He says, Trace, the pain is real, my man. Yeah, I'm down bad. Alex Binyaz Harris says, could have had Sam Mole if we didn't send him down. Yeah. Did you think, Alex, did you think Sam Mole was going to come in and close the game, I'm guessing? Or I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong, man. I'm just saying that I don't really know if Sam Mole does anything different today. Steinman says Alexis Diaz is the definition of trash.
Steinman's down bad.
Jeez. I don't know if that's the case, but here we are. And Big Z comes in and he says squirrels plant thousands of new trees each year by merely forgetting where they put their acorns. Every squirrel finds a nut eventually.
What an elite super chat.
I'll tell you what, Big Z. I'm trying to figure out if this ball club even, if they are squirrels or not. They're squirrely, but are they squirrels? I'm hoping they are so they can at least at some point run into a win, but sure doesn't feel like it right now. Thank you as always to everybody. Super chats. The amount of people watching this show at this late at night, it's just incredible. You guys really do support us in a big way, and we love you for it. I know that I say that maybe too often. Doing these shows are a grind right now, folks. They're just not easy to do. We're just as heartbroken as you are, and you come in the chat and you give us a little bit of hope, a little bit of life, and we're hoping we can provide that back to you just a little bit on a nightly basis. So thank you. All right, before we get into any other Reds MILB, Nick, you got something to add?
No, let's do it.
Oh,
All right. We only had one game. We had the Arizona Complex League Reds.
how'd I forget?
They lost 10-1 to the Mariners. I have no idea when they play or not, what the rhyme or reason is to that. Shang-In Lin, he was 1 for 5 with a stolen base. Sammy Stafura 1 for 4 with a walk. That's your only Reds MILB. Everyone will be back in action tomorrow. Connor Phillips will be on the mound for the Louisville Bats. You ready just to run into this?
Yeah, I think you can do the who, what, when, where, and why, Nick.
All right. Rematch of last week. Hunter Green against Slade Ciccone. Ciccone last week, 5 1/3, just gave up 1 run. Candelario homered against him. This is a guy that has better career major league numbers than minor league numbers. He's really struggled at home, though, so far in his short MLB career. He's got a 6.30 ERA at Chase Field. Has a 2.83 ERA on the road. One other note from him, he's not allowed to hit in the first inning in any of his last 4 games. So hopefully that can change tomorrow. And then, of course, for the Reds with Hunter Green, just would be nice to see Hunter Green just put the team on his back, put up a bunch of zeros, see what the offense could give you. Last week against the Diamondbacks, 3 earned runs over 5 innings pitched. Walked 5 batters in that one. Remember, his velocity was down. So that'll be something to watch early in this game. Hopefully that was just a blip in the radar. Hopefully just, wasn't feeling himself last week. Hopefully there's not something more to that, but that'll certainly be something to watch. He's made 1 start in his career at Chase Field. Didn't go well. Last year, 3 2/3, 5 earned runs. Jock Peterson has a home run against him.
Boy, Jock Peterson was
p.m.
Jock Peterson was not happy tonight. I know that. So we also got a break for that, if we're being honest. So, sometimes we do get things that go our way. We just don't ever remember them because it ultimately didn't end up mattering at the end. So there is that. But just wanted to give a shout out to the old umpiring crew for giving us a break there on that. So who knows? All right, folks. I'll charge up the batteries for tomorrow. Both literally and figuratively. I'm gonna have to rise. I'm gonna have to rise to my feet tomorrow morning and really do some convincing of myself that this is that this team can get it around, change it around, do something. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna go wild. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. You shouldn't do this. I'll do it. I'm going to go and listen to David Bell's post-game press conference, and it'll make me feel better, I'm sure. So there is that. Nick, it is 1:55 in the morning. Got some people that are getting ready to wake up to go and work really early shifts, and they're going to be looking for that Reds podcast in the morning. They can come and they can know and they can love. We have 162 people in the chat right now. I want you guys to just do me a favor. I want you, when this podcast drops in the morning, just open it up. You ain't got to listen to all of it. You ain't got to listen to all of it if you don't want to, but you can if you want to, because Nick can change it around a little bit. But I need you to help us with the downloads tomorrow. We're going to need some help. Because I got news for you. There ain't nobody that's going to want to listen to this podcast tomorrow. So I need you to help us out. But I got news for you. We're still Reds fans. So you know what it means? We're going to be back here better than ever tomorrow. And we're going to find a way, man. We're going to find a way. Hunter Green's going to get it done. What if he throws a perfect game? We might have to go 12 innings tomorrow because Hunter Green's going to carry a perfect game into the 11th. Then Alexis Diaz is going to come in and shut the door down. We're all going to forget about this lovely day that was not so lovely. May the 13th. 513 day. So much for that. Shout out Elliot Rearing. So much for a birthday. But you know what? We love you. We appreciate you. Go leave us a 5-star review. Give us a rating on Chatterbox Reds. Download the episode tomorrow. And tell a friend about us. We need all the help we can get around here. Go Reds. I mean this sincerely. We love you, chat. We genuinely love you. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.